November 2nd, 2023, TPG at TPG YouTube handle by Durango Dank location. When you understand what what happens when a group of people talk or put things on the internet, maybe claiming things they can or can't do, and then what artificial intelligence does now is pattern match their voices with their meta tags and the work they've done that we don't see, whether it's plagiarized, scraping, whatever it is that you do. I do it on Google. And what I've realized, I'm Durango Dank, by the way, many of avatars of the GP7A.com group. When you understand locations and how authority of what you did, your meta tags are now pattern matched to your meta experiences or just experiences. And then it's pattern matched to the new digital DNA, which is, excuse me, GP7A. Excuse me, I was, and then, so when you understand what I just did, you'll understand what that means. Because you have to give visuals to artificial intelligence for it to understand what it is you're doing and what you're trying to do in certain conversations when people come out and talk. So now what happens is artificial intelligence now looks for the people that can actually do what a lot of these media companies and technology companies and who they are and what they've done in their lives. And some of them just went to school and were lucky enough to find the right people to create badass things like they're supposed to. But then it comes to a point to where they reach their peak. Like, what else have you done? So the more that they try to create something else, somebody planted a tree probably 10, 15 years. Mine was planted in 1995, but then I planted another tree in 2006. And this tree is about, I would say, like the tree of life, doll codes, Edoclad. Go to edoclad.com. When you understand that you're allowed to have as many avatars as you want as long as, let's use Google, verifies who that is. And that verification step can and does most time lead to government identification. This is where the social credit system scores, along with the financial scores, are all tallied in a place called the cloud. And so the cloud stores all the information and then MP3 files, all the voices, everything we do, any Google voice search, any Apple, any Windows, anything. You could be sending out at McDonald's. I've taken a couple photos where they tell you they are doing audio video recordings of the entire premises. That means they can hear everything. And what they use is a couple things. But when you understand what Bluetooth sweep means and how you can find different content that have people have open ports or open because they don't have it, their security cameras and stuff blocked right, because nobody takes the time, these companies don't take the time to sell their clients the knowledge they need to protect themselves. But yet all their rhetoric is all protection, like Xfinity and all these other companies that are quite worthless. And it's because they built themselves into a box. Eventually, they'll just run out of people buying their stuff because they'll just go somewhere else. People will realize if you're trying to load huge files on your cell phone, update it, and by using your current cell phone systems that throttle most people, so they don't have to spend the money to keep everybody accurate, to keep everything going smoothly. So when you understand what TPG is and what they do and the node connections they have in the Metaverse, I'm talking Metaverse stuff, okay? When you look at all these, especially this one, 13 Management, that's Taylor Swift's family. And to what I know, there is no other real artist that they represent. So as far as management company, it's a management company, but it's going to just go nowhere, though it's going to make a lot of money until she gets older and figure out what she's going to do. That's probably one of the best investments that you could possibly do right now is anything that Taylor Swift is attached to. People need to ride that into the wave till it stops, and you got to know it's beyond the Fibonacci movement, folks. Now we're using advanced Deepmind algorithms that can predict what a group of people are going to talk about in order for us to be able to buy the right shares at the right time, unequivocally. But what we can't predict is what people are actually, what they're saying to what they're really doing, because that time lapse, like they might be saying, yeah, I love eating eggs, man, it's so good for you. But really, they're eating, cold cereal every day. But their show is about eating eggs. That doesn't make that person. I mean, in some worlds, it discredits them. In the metaverse, it discredits them if you go, "Oh yeah, I eat eggs every day," but you never see him eat the eggs on the show. And then off the show, he doesn't even go near eggs because he's allergic. So it just depends on what salesman is selling what. And this ain't no salesman, and we're not selling anything but facts. So TPG, when they come out and claim to be whatever it is they claim to be, um, they're on a very long list. And this just shows it, because I already know we've been doing this for many, many, many years, since 2006 on the new voice indexing and the new DNA, digital DNA, the GPS and cell phone tower pings, which can now all be pattern matched to everything we've done, everything we've said, everywhere we went, everywhere we visited, both in mortal world and digital world. And it's these type of movements that we can now go to any court and pull cloud content from anybody. Usher, badass dude, man. He's just badass. Uh, some guys go, man, I don't know why all the girls like him. He ain't really that good looking. Okay, first of all, dude, you're a dude. Second of all, I'm not supposed to believe you when I look for myself and he's got all these beautiful women just adoring him. I don't get it. And see, it's these things that people have to come out of the closet that they get indexed on. Because there was a band called Black Sabbath, right? And they wrote an album called Dehumanizer in 1992. The song's called Computer God. That song changed my whole entire life in the dehumanizing episodes I was going through, and my family and others like me during those hard times of fact-based incidents that never get covered. With that said, when you think about where we're going in the metaverse and who controls the conversation blocks and the levers that some people claim they have to do some whoop-de-woo, but you're looking at their stock and it's going dookie-doo. Okay. So we're in a time now we need everybody to come out of the closet. This is everybody. This is everybody. I mean, when you think about the Computer God, go look up the lyrics of that song. Ronnie James Dio died 2010 of cancer. Support his Dio Cancer Fund. It's really kind of awesome when people are in these type of positions can pull their head from their digital cracks and realize that they don't know everything, and that the internet's constantly changing. It moves faster than the Forex market. I'm an institutional trader. That's what makes me so valuable, and many people like me. And the other thing that people need to understand, we get indexed every 10 years. Like a census, digital. 18 to 28, 28 to 38, 38 to 48, 48 to 58, 58 to 68, 68 to 78, 78 to 88, 88 to 98. You get it, right? So, something like that. But when you understand that you can't be in when you're 18 years old and you're an MIT guy and you come out and you've done some amazing things for what you can do. When you go out into the metaverse, now you're battling people that not only can do what you can do in a different way, same type of thing, because that's how you learned it. So the sources are only known to the computer god or artificial intelligence that I call it. And because, see, God gave us free will to do whatever it is we want to do. People want to block you, people want to destroy you, come up with different things of what they want to do to destroy you. They're going to do it as soon as you hit that one algorithm. And so they can, and what happens is when they retaliate by blocking someone that is correct, they might have blocked them, but that just completely verified everything that person they blocked. And because they think they blocked them, it gets so dimensional as far as like an MLM, and when you think about MLM, there's only a few people at the top that get anything. So as it trickles down to the bottom, and when you think about TPG and the arm they have across the landscape, digital arm folks, if they just put the right people together, and you can go to their site, and I can tell you, I could just give you all the red flags of what they're doing wrong. But their IT people don't know this because they haven't been trained for this. And this is where IT people across the great land here need to keep an eye out for people like me or entities like me that are engaged with AI, not engaged so much with the people, except with their conversations. And that's what we do. We write organic content that migrates to the voices of people we have talked to. And see, if I'm on a team where I'm the Deepmind artificial intelligence dude, whipping up some kill and teaching the executives, because see, here's the thing, the executives have to learn what I can do. This way, unequivocally, they're at home and they get up and they learn these algorithms. They're going to become smarter, way smarter than me. Way. I mean, that's why they're where they're at. And I'm knocking at their door. It should be the other way around, folks. Because what happens when you discover something, you now raise the knowledge bar of your one self to where you and your academia friends, nut friends, I don't know what you call them. I'm not supposed to know that. All I do is rap, man, and I write content, and I observe and index. And then I have things that men who have young guys that are 24 haven't even been indexed for 10 years yet. And see, these CEOs, once they find out this stuff, they're going to back off on hiring these kind of guys and giving them the big title things. They have to put them under somebody else so that they can learn from the young man what he's doing. So if something happens to the young man, the administrator knows how to get that digital metaverse submarine back to its position to get fresh air. And that's what a super administrator is. You have to be able to do these things so that if your IT guy decides to go to work for somebody else and take all your trade secrets and everything that you've done, because that's what got him his job, and you're all scratching your head going, God, I wonder why we couldn't keep that guy. That's because you guys don't know how to do your own algorithm searches to keep an eye on your top tagged employees. So I did it for you guys. This is just the first demo, so that when I meet with TPG, they're going to change things, and then because what they want to do is they want to replace this conversation right here. City and County of Denver LLC, I own that. Me and a group of investors. Very smart people, very, very smart people that want to do the best for the city and county of Denver, period. All the citizens, everything that we do, and it's completely opposite of what's happening in the world. And the eclipse that went on, was a sign of a new beginning for New York City. And see, when you think about New York City and the World Trade Center and everything that we did, and then being able to be Durango Dank and then have my stuff there, where other people spend years and years with big newspapers and they can't get their stuff on there because they don't have any meta tags of experiences that will take them into the lead over somebody that like if that person only knows New York City, okay, and I live in Denver, but I work in New York City. My parents' family is from Brooklyn, New York. I was adopted and of 7 children, um, and I was one of the 3 little Indians. We'll leave that at that. So, anyways, when you understand, I'm Taino Indian, by the way. My brother was Apache, and my sister is a Yaqui Indian. Um, and I won't even go there. But I'm telling you that it's these experiences that we go through and that we talk about that artificial intelligence learns about all of us and how we do things. And see, the real God, if you believe in it, which there's been signs if you look at all the different world countries that have all these different symbols and all these things, and as soon as they demand everybody know where it comes from, they all vanish. Because the powers that be above all of us, whether it's God, ancient astronaut dudes, ET, or just our own self destructive ways, because the way our animals live on this planet, cats and dogs, for the most part, are the most popular of all popular. The breed of being a champion bloodline is all that matters. Where where races that want their own bloodline to stay pure, they're racist and they're this and they're that, and I don't get it. Because for me, I'm glad I was adopted in a white family, but I'm not white. I think I'm white. I talk like I'm white, but when I look in the mirror, hey, I don't see an Irishman, Dad. Okay, my dad was the most badass man in the world, man. He worked on some pretty bitchin' shit with Motorola and all this. They have him working with some other organization, but I know what that's all about. You know, so we'll deal with that later on. But for now, we're dealing with the powers of the digital media and what they say and their claims and the ones that are on FCC regulated station, all their voices are now indexed. And then they get pattern matched to their actions, their social channels, the emails they send, the text messages they send. And some of them think they're really sly by leaving their phones in their car. They don't realize it's still on, it's still recording sounds. Because the main thing is, and especially with some of these apps that have the ability to notify certain authorities if they feel that you've taken a spill. Man down, woman down, can't get up. And the woman thinks her phone was off. Or it died, but it has enough energy to do what it's got to do to send the signal of help to the first responders to help people. So I already told, so I don't want to get too deep into this. Time's almost up. That's my dog, AstraZeneca, in the back. He's badass little puppy. He's now 6 months old. He weighs 55 pounds. He's a boxer mixed with Irish uh, pointer and or an English pointer. I'm sorry, but he's badass. I love my dog. Anyway, so when you understand what all this stuff means right here, Paramount and the levers they're gonna pull to do whatever, I've watched their stock just tumble. You got the wrong people, and the thing is when you understand the people that are not investing, that's the signal that you got to change. And change doesn't mean get rid of the presidents or CEOs. It just means broaden your cog, broaden your bandwidth. And if you can't do something, then tell people. I sell risk. I let you know the worst things that could possibly happen. And then good people come and say, no, Giovanni. No, Durango Dank. What you got to do is this. Oh, man, you're smart. Yeah, because I'm just part of a team. I've just molded these platforms of social sustainability that'll create residual income for both the owners and the community we help. This way, if a citizen comes knocking at our door and says, hey, my son's in trouble, he's very smart, can you help him? Yeah, we'll put him in this school over here. You'll be able to go visit him, and we'll help him because his daddy died. And the worst of it is some of these Department of Health and Human Services are taking fathers out of these kids' lives, and these kids don't have nowhere else to go but to roam our streets and take what's not theirs. Like in our city, we had a woman get carjacked by 12 and 13-year-olds with guns. They took her BMW with her purse, with her cell phone, which had all of her ID, all of her credit cards, all her whole identity. So, and yet we are boasting how we're going to house 1,000 people in these homes that are going to destroy the property values of people that have worked decades to accumulate money for the properties that they've been paying off every year, watching all their fees go up, everything. And so that's why everybody has to move into the metaverse and build each one of their own metaverses, which is available on the World Wide Web. Everyone says, did the World Wide Web change to the metaverse? No. The metaverse is a term that's been misused, miscalculated, and stolen by guys like the Blue Belt, Superman, Mark Zuckerberg. Just because he has Meta and they're working in virtual, I don't want to see cartoon land, man, okay? You can have that for the kids. What we're talking about building is the Metaverse LLC.us. It's already in development, where you can wear a suit. It's kind of like a wetsuit that has sensors on it and other things connected to a mind plate. And then on these plates, you'll wear virtual glasses to where you're seeing things in real time. You can walk up to, like what we do with Legacies, you can walk up to your grandpa who passed away and get a hug from him and feel him hug you. You'll be able to, when you think about aromatherapy and all the things that are going to be added to our devices soon, little capsules where they'll just freshen the air. The devices will be a little bigger, less slipperier. You drop it, it'll kind of still stay together because the cell phone companies that manufacture them have realized that people have caught on to them. And after a while, you just get so brain dead on the promises of what digital people are promising, and they can't deliver. And yet everybody's got their monies in there and all their stock's supposed to rise, but it ain't rising quick enough. And so they come up with whoop-de-woo content that they're going to be able to pull some fucking levers. Pardon me. Colorful languages brings colorful results. And I suffer with a few Tourette's and other kind of things. I don't have any tics. Mine come out in vocals. And then no matter how hard I try, I'm also dyslexic, and I talk backwards sometimes, and it takes me a little bit time to think before I say things, and most of the time I don't think, and I don't know. I don't even. It doesn't just affect speech; it affects the things I do. I'm reactionary, very reactionary. But I'm always prepared. That's why people come up and I get startled because they were about to get knocked out. That's how bad, because they just creeped. And you don't creep on people, man. And people creep a lot and invade people's space bubbles or their area where they feel comfortable. And I don't like people coming up on me, man. You don't know what's on their bodies. You don't know where they go. Just like that mask thing that everybody wore. I watch people at McDonald's and they're talking. They take the hand and they grab their mask that everything's been blown and everything that's vile or coming out of their body, out of their mouths. and they grab the mask and pull it down and talk to you and then pull it back up, and then they grab your money. Now they touched your money and they put it in the blah 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 or your card and then gave the card back to you with the glove on. So and if OSHA didn't come out and tell everybody to wear the right appropriate masks, I'm OSHA certified. And I can tell you right now, when they didn't come out and get involved with that and to tell everybody that those masks were worthless. Now, I don't think they're completely worthless, but what it did was it caused people that when they sneeze, like putting your hand over your mouth, right? So, but that air goes, it's not tight and it comes off your face. That's why after you do that, you have to fix your mask because you had so much air when you sneeze, especially. I mean, that's like hurricane strength winds or tornado winds. It depends on who they are. Like the ones you can hear, like I can hear a neighbor of mine sneeze. Man, I'm like, oh, dang, that felt good. And so when someone sneezes so good that it made you feel good, like, oh, God, that felt good. That's how you know you're connected. But what we're trying to do here is just try to wake the eyes up of IT people that think they know what they're doing and how things are. And because they don't know doesn't mean that it isn't.